Hola estudiantes, this is Señora Travalia, and today we are going to talk about some of the irregular verbs in the preterite. You've already learned about the regular verbs that end in the letters AR, ER, and IR and their verb endings, and you've learned about the ear and ser irregulars, as well as the car-gar-zar irregulars. But this is a group of verbs that share the same verb endings, even though some of the verbs end in AR or ER or IR. They all have the same verb endings, and they all have a root or stem change. And I like to call this group the remix group. So when I refer to the remix group of verbs, I'm referring to these verbs, and I teach these verbs all together, as many teachers do, because they share the same ending and because they all take a root or a stem change. I've come up with some mnemonics to help you remember the remix stems because there are a lot of them and they have different spellings. And I use these mnemonics to help you kind of remember the stems quickly, and it also in the mnemonic has the meaning of the verb, which might help you too. So let's take a look at these verbs. So the first verb is saber, which means to know, and the mnemonic is I knew him, so I said sup, meaning it's a play on the words like what's up, right? So I knew him, so I said sup. And that goes with the saber stem change. Saber means to know. It actually means to know information or facts, but I'm using it here as if you knew a person, which is really the verb conocer, but in English we don't have two different verbs, so we're just going to use it for the mnemonic. Yo supe, tú supiste, él supo, nosotros supimos, ellos supieran. So notice how the endings don't have any accents. There are no accent marks in these remix endings. And the stem is not bold. It's S-U-P. The next verb is tener, which means to have. And the mnemonic is I had a toothache, right? Like toothache. It's play on words. And the verb tener has a TUV stem or root. So you would say yo tuve, tú tuviste, él tuvo, nosotros tuvimos, ellos tuvieran. Notice that the endings here for tener are the same as saber. They're going to be the same all the way through. No accents. The next verb is querer, to want. And the mnemonic for that is I wanted a Hershey's Kiss, right? As if a Hershey's Kiss. Who doesn't love chocolate? And that would be in the preterite form yo quise, tú quisiste, él quiso, nosotros quisimos, y ellos quisieran. Followed by poder, which means to be able to. In English, sometimes we say can, like can I go to the bathroom? You're actually saying, am I able to go to the bathroom? The mnemonic for that is I was able to make pudding, right? P-U-D is the stem there. So if you wanted to use it in the preterite form, you would say yo pude, tú pudiste, él pudo, nosotros pudimos, ellos pudieran. Followed by the verb venir, which means to come. And the mnemonic for that one is my cousin VINny came to the party, right? Because past tense, he came to the party. So that would be yo vine, tú viniste, él vino, nosotros vinimos, y ellos vinieran. Followed by the verb decir, to tell or to say. And the mnemonic for that one is I told the DJ to play my song. So DIJ is not DJ in Spanish, but we're just using that as the mnemonic to help you remember what the letters are. It's actually in Spanish pronounced yo dije, tú dijiste, él dijo, nosotros dijimos, y ellos dijeran. And if you notice there in the ellos, ellas, ustedes form, the I drops out. The ending is not I-E-R-O-N. It's just E-R-O-N because you say dijeran, right? Not dijeran. They take that extra syllable out. So it's an irregular within the irregulars. Next verb is hacer, to do or to make. And the mnemonic for that one is the food made me have hiccups. Yo hice, tú hiciste, él hizo. Now I'm going to pause right there if you notice that on él hizo I have that little asterisk mark because the C actually turned to a Z. And the reason that happens is for phonetics reasons. If a C was next to an O, it would have the same sound as it does in English, like co. But that wouldn't sound the same like hice, hiciste, hico. It would sound kind of broken up. So the C changes to a Z for the phonetics reason so that you hear the flow. Listen to it again now with the Z. Hice, hiciste, hizo, hicimos, hicieran. So there it sounds, with the flow. You have to remember that hacer in the LAO stead form, the C changes to a Z. Again, another irregular within an irregular. Poner is to put, and the mnemonic there is I put the pussycat on the couch. PUS is the stem. So you would say yo puse, tú pusiste, él puso, nosotros pusimos, ellos pusieran. Next one is andar, which means to walk or to go, like in Spanish when you hear them say, ándale, ándale, they're telling you go, go, go. But in this case, we're going to use the mnemonic to walk. I walk through the Anduves mountains. It's a play on the word Andes mountains. And that would be anduve, anduviste, él anduvo, nosotros anduvimos, y ellos anduvieran. Next verb is estar, to be, and the mnemonic is a play on the word estúpido in Spanish, which says, I am estúpido if I don't study Spanish, right? And that's estuve, estuviste, estuvo, estuvimos, and ellos estuvieran. Notice that I do put the vosotros form in all of the boxes, but we don't really pay a lot of focus on that in Spanish too. So it's there, you can see it. So just a summary, the remix endings are all the same, whether the verbs end in AR like estar or ER as in poder or IR as in venir. All of them share the same endings. The iste, o, imos, y eran. There are no accents on any of these endings. And now you have the mnemonics to help you remember the new stems. Okay, muchachos, adios por today, and I shall see you soon.